Shadow Monarch, Sun Jinwoo is upon us. That was a good episode. I'm on a landscape page, use a pencil eraser, hit pause if I go too fast. So we can't really see much of the lower half of his face. It's like eyes, hair, ears, and then there's like his hands are kind of crossed with the swords, right? Or the daggers. So kind of a complicated one because of the fists, and there's one big hand and one small hand, but we'll do our best. Center point. My page is here. We're going to come up. The head will be like above the halfway. Right? We can't see the chin, but we get the rest of it. So, top eyelid line, curve, and then spike back. Right? Very sort of spiky eyes. Thick enough lines. Bottom eyelid line, there. And then his iris and pupil, so he's looking up, looking intense, glowing blue eyes. Right, and then he has like a heavy frown, right? So like a check mark that becomes sort of his eyebrow as well. And it's always sort of thicker at the front. And skinnier at the back. And then we could have sort of an eyelid line there. Maybe do the same thing pretty much on the other side. So we do curved line for the top eyelid. And then spiking down, so very sort of spiky eyes again. And then bottom eyelid there. Again, this sort of frown, quite heavy. Iris and pupil, half circle, just looking up. And then that frown again. Just right close, tick up. And thicken up the front. Bring it a bit, another frown sort of going that way. There's like some wrinkles just on his nose there. So I'm just going to tidy this up a bit. Sorry. Right, so just some like wrinkle lines on the nose and stuff. And what we can see of his nose is not much. It's got this sort of straight sort of line that they do in the show. And maybe a bit of his mouth, but it's behind his hand, so you can't really see much of it. So, what can we see? So we can see like his fringe, right? So we'll go, might as well do this. Spiking hair coming across here. Right, just coming across his forehead. Right, and then sort of his face line comes down from here, disappears behind his hand. Like maybe just coming down this way. Maybe some of his mouth. But like there's a knuckles and his hand just like cuts off his face here, so you can't really see. It's that line that comes down that way. And then the ear comes out from his hair there. And then another one just in there. And then some ear lines just inside. Okay. So we'll finish off the hair, so we'll just start adding these spikes that are kind of like blowing in the wind coming around his head. Right, kind of like that. Okay, so now we got to deal with these daggers and hands and things. So we started this one already. So this comes down to his wrist and his forearm. That's kind of big. It was like he's quite muscular. There's like his elbows there, and then that comes up like so. There's like some forearm lines and stuff just here. So this dagger that he holds, right, so it just comes, that's like his finger there, right? And then there's like a big spike that comes across this. And so like, it becomes part of the blade, it looks like. And it comes down to there. And then his fingers, it's like the side of his hand there. And then the dagger goes down this way, goes behind the other dagger. So there's like a bit of a spike or something there. And then this goes down to here. And then finger lines and knuckles and stuff. Right, and then so 1, 2, and then I think a third, like his finger line just like here. And then the rest is kind of like the dagger sort of area. Right, and then we can see some knuckles or hand lines or something coming down from this one. That's probably part of that finger, so then that's that finger, and then another one here. And so then this blade, so it has like a couple of spikes on it. 1, 2, 3. Comes up to a big one and then travels that way. And then the handle up there, spiky on the end, like that. There is details on these things, right, as well, so you can add as much of that as you want now. So like lines that come across like so. They don't do too much in the anime either. So like, say like the blade part going that way. like some orange lines and stuff in here. Black there, orange back here. Okay. Now, so this dagger just continues behind the other dagger. But there's like a closer up hand here. So, right, so we'll just place the dagger. So the hilt of it is like here. It's this wavy line, right? So it's got this gold detailed sort of gold and purple sort of. And his hand is all bandaged, right? But it's coming this way. Big forearm. Right, so the hand is like this size. So this is massive now. So his elbow is kind of here. And this will be his tricep, bicep area. It's like this ripped and torn sort of part of his sleeve here. And then the other side of the forearm comes down kind of into his finger there somewhere. So that side of his hand. His body is kind of there. Maybe the wrist goes a bit further actually. So bring it to there. Say that's a bit big, sorry. Well, this could be a bandage line if we wanted, yes, because there's bandage over everything, so saves us erasing stuff. So action shots like this are always more difficult than just like a portrait, so take your time. So now his fingers, right? So like the side of his hand comes down here. Each of these would be a finger. Right, and then the handle of the sword dagger comes out this way. Just put some curved lines on it, and then there's another sort of spike on this as well. And then his thumb, so we can see like that's his finger, and then the thumb kind of comes out from there, so you can't really see. I think it's underneath this one, maybe a thumbnail, but that's bandaged as well. And he has like the straps of the bandage like tied around his hand, right? So say we can see like some skin on his fingers here. And then there's like a strap going tied quite tightly there. Okay. So this comes across the finger. So like you'd have to erase these lines inside, obviously, just to make it look like it's underneath. Curves over his wrist. Background into there. all bandages on the fingers and on the back of the hand here as well. Right, and this can be like his jumper side of his body, sort of. And that's his wrist, right? So then this other dagger, right? So it cuts across here, like just past his elbow. And then it kind of hooks around, goes off the page. And then there's loads of these spikes on this side, so we go like a series of them. A few more room across. You could like keep going with this if you wanted. And then there's like an inside to all these. Right. And then there's a purple line going down that side, and like two little metal studs. And then I think another purple section just in here. So that means this dagger comes down here. Like so. Right, I think we can see like his body that way. And then he has like some folds here and a hoodie and his shoulders that we just have to join up to the hoodie. So the hoodie sort of like comes around here. It's kind of all lasting sort of upwards around the back of the head. Down into there. And then his shoulders bump out like so, because it's fabric, you know, it's loosely fitting sort of fabric bumping down this way. And there's like a shoulder line here. His armpit going that way. Just it's all wrapping around his arm, so it has to be like curved fabric lines. Like say across his stomach, you've got some lines going that way, up that way, and then the shoulder on this side just sticks out down into there, and then a shoulder line. Elbow a bit there. And yeah, I think that's it. Shadow Monarch. That was cool. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.